This is the plaintiff, Anthony Schusterich. He says he knows the defendant from work and was hired by him to fix his mother's roof. He can't believe it, but the guy's backing out on the deal they made for the cost of completing the job. He was only paid $200 and is suing the down-and-out scammer for the $700 he still owed for the work he completed. This is the defendant, George Parenti. He says he agreed to pay the plaintiff $1,000 for the entire job, but somehow the guy got it into his head he was going to be paid $300 per day. He was outraged at that demand, has no idea how the plaintiff came up with this, and thinks he must be out of his mind or something. His other buddies would have done the job for some pizza, but the plaintiff thinks he's worth $300 a day? Ha! He's accused of nailing a shingler.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Anthony
Schusterich.
You are suing George and Esther Parenti. George, you have power of attorney for Esther?
Yes, ma'am.
Regarding $700 that you say is owed to you for roofing work that you did, and he agreed to pay and has now not paid you. Okay, talk to me.
Yes, we worked together. He knew I did roofing prior to that.
You worked together at the time that you made this agreement?
Yes.
Okay, and what kind of place did you work at?
It's a cable company.
A cable company?
Yes.
All right, and how long had you known each other?
A little bit over a year, I would say.
And he knew that prior to working at the cable company, you'd done roofing work?
That is correct.
So he came to you and said?
That he's been having problems at his mother's house with leaks. They had estimates done and stuff like that. If I could do him a favor, come over, take a look at it.
Okay, and so you go over to his mother's house?
Took a look at the roof. It was a very big roof. They had leaks that were pretty extensive in a valley area, stuff like that. Measured out the roof. It was 24 squares. Told him that it needed to be ripped. There was multiple roofs on there. It wound up being a cedar roof. Had to do plywood replacement. He said, okay, just place the order for material. Let me know what it's going to be for that and stuff like that.
Okay, so did you tell him how much the roof would cost and how much you were going to charge?
I told him that the material price was that. You would
What
just
was the
pay
material
me.
price?
The material price, the original material price was almost $5,000.
Okay.
I told him I could get it to him then at my cost, which they gave it to him then for about $400 cheaper.
Okay,
for
so
the
can I see the
material.
receipts for the materials? And then, but what about your work?
It was stated that we would do it cheaper than what he could get it for.
What
over
figure is that?
$16,000.
I'm not familiar with that figure.
This was not set
That's
up
right.
that
Nobody
it was,
agreed on a specific price.
There was not a specific
Let me just look
price
at the
mentioned.
contract. Do you have the contract?
There is not a contract.
Oh, there's not a contract. Okay, can I see the text between the two of you that talk about like what more or less was going to be charged?
There isn't.
Because the two of you do not agree on a price before the work begins, correct?
Correct.
Okay, which is fascinating to me that you have both come in here and come clean on that, because in your complaint, you claim you were promised $300 a day, and in your complaint, you claim it was $100 a day. And now both of you are where I know the truth is, which is that both of you are knuckleheads and you didn't actually agree on a price beforehand. Because that's how this stuff happens. People say, oh, don't worry, I'll take care of you. All right, yeah. Call me. We have a name for people like you. We call them litigants. So now what happens? Now you feel that what he's offering you is not fair, and you feel what he's asking is not fair, and guess who gets to decide? You people are always arguing and putting me in the middle. It's exhausting. Guess who gets to decide what is fair? Someone other than either of you. That's what you do to a court of law when you don't have an agreement in place. So let's talk about the scope of the work that was done. First of all, the materials are $5,000. You got it a little cheaper, so they're at least here $4,500, right?
That is correct.
For that work, you were going to be doing what?
As a per day type job that I would get
Was
paid for the
that
time I
actually
was
discussed per day?
No, nothing was ever discussed with
Okay.
the money for that.
So what did you do on day one?
Day one, we had a ripping crew come in
Who's
to rip
we?
the roof. Me and the defendant.
So he was working too?
Yes, he was going to do a sweat equity.
A sweat equity, so in order to bring the price down?
Yes.
All right, so he's out there working, you're out there working, and who else is?
A ripping company that we called in to work for doing the entire roof. They were supposed to do the
ripping
entire
company,
roof.
did they get paid by him?
Yes, they did.
Okay, go on.
That was the first day. We got that plywooded. They ripped it down to the rafters, plywooded the roof, and that was that for the
The whole
first
roof?
day. No, absolutely not. This was a small section that was at the highest section. That was what would be called a planker because you can't really walk on it. You need to set up behind it so you could do that.
Okay. On day 2, what did you do?
Day 2, he had some day laborers there. They ripped the other section. while
Again,
they
the
were-
day laborers got paid by him, right?
Yes.
Okay.
When they were ripping that section, I was roofing the finished side with the plywood, and that day we finished off by closing in the other side that was ripped.
Were you telling people what to do?
Showing them how to do the shingles, if George was going to come in to do the shingles, just the way the pattern was set up.
Okay, so on day 3, what happens?
Day 3 is
worked
that
3
Saturday.
days, right?
Yes,
Okay.
that is correct. On that Saturday, we were doing the valley area. We went to the supply house that was in Ozone Park, picked up the proper material for that, and proceeded with doing that.
The original materials that we talked about that you handed me a receipt for, who ordered and picked up those?
I ordered it. His mother paid for it. The company delivers it directly to the house.
Okay. So go on. Now it's day 3.
On our drive to the store, I'm like, this would probably be a good time to discuss money now.
You think that's a good time to discuss
Well,
money?
I thought he was a friend. This is not the first time that I
That is
did.
the worst time. You know, don't smile because I haven't even begun with you yet. See, because apparently you don't work for a pizza, right?
That is correct.
Right, and your answer to the complaint was, I thought he was going to work for a pizza. I figured, well, what would make you think that this amount of work would be for a pizza?
I was going to pay him, okay? That was my intention.
Well, that was your intention, but that's not what you did.
It
and
is
how
what I
much
did.
were you going to pay him?
$1,000 to do the roof, to complete the roof with me, okay?
No, let's hold back a second. What you said in the answer to your complaint, and correct me if this was misinterpreted by me, but I quote, all of a sudden the plaintiff got it in his head that I was going to pay him $300 a day. He was outraged. I have no idea where the plaintiff got that I was going to pay him $300 a day. He's out of his mind. I told the plaintiff the most I could pay him was $1,000 for the entire job. My other buddies would have done the work for a pizza, and he wants $300 a day.
Yes, ma'am.
Friends help each other out.
Perhaps he should have his friends work on a car that weren't experts at doing it, stuff like that. I'm sure he could have got
I want to
anybody
hear from
to do
him.
the roof.
So what exactly did you envision you would pay him?
$1,000.
No, that's what happened later.
No,
I
no,
mean
no, ma'am,
beforehand, what did
that's
you envision?
exactly $1,000.
So then why didn't you say before the... No, listen to my question. Why did you not say to him before the man starts work, listen, will you do this for $1,000?
It didn't come up. I asked him to give me a hand.
Am I crazy? How does the price of a job not come up between two people before the job begins?
Again, we considered each other friends, okay? I have a friend with me who actually helped me
I
complete.
don't know who you are to him, but for the love of all that's holy, if you two ever decide to do any work on each other's houses, get it beforehand, what it is that each person is getting paid, okay? So what was the discussion beforehand? 0. Then when he gets angry, you've paid him $200. Where did the $200 come from as a figure? What was that supposed to be?
We're driving to the supply house. Everything he said so far was correct. We're driving to the supply house. He gets a phone call. Doesn't recognize the number, okay? Thinks it's a bill collector. I said, who do you owe money to? My phone company. I said, when we go home, I'll throw you a couple of dollars. That's how it started.
That was big
And I
of
also
you.
said to him, I said, you know, I'm going to pay you $1,000 for helping me out. That was it. That's when the $1,000 came up. We got home, we did the job, he got $200, and that was it. We ended that. We had bad weather the following week.
Did he say something to you when you suggested the
No.
1,000? But according to
That's-
your own answer to the complaint, you say all of a sudden he got it in his head that I was going to pay him $300 and he was outraged. I don't know where he got that from. He's out of his mind. I told him the most I'd pay him is
That
$1,000.
was on the 4th day on the job. That was
Oh,
2
he
weeks
had 4
later.
days on the job?
No. We were going to restart the job. The job was never completed in 3 days. It took me 8 days to complete it. On the 4th day, when I was starting it, I tell him we're going to start the job tomorrow. So he's asking me for more money, and I said, we're not done with the job. He shows up, and that's when this argument happened in front of the house before we started working.
And tell me about the argument.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So should this plaintiff get any money at all since there was no agreement on price?
Yes, he should.
Why?
Because he did the work.
He did the work, but there was no agreement on price.
But it won't matter because he did the work.
But what do you give him?
You give him fair market value of the work he did.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. We'll find out going inside the courtroom.
He told me he wanted $300 a day. I said, I'm not paying you $300 a day. You crazy? I owed him $800 for 1,000 I was paying. He said,
He
no,
never
I
agreed
can't
to
do
1,000, did he? You're not suggesting he agreed to 1,000, right?
No, I did not say he agreed. I said I was giving him 1,000,
He takes what he gets and he doesn't get upset, right? Tough for him.
basically.
Nah, not really. Not really. He takes what I decide is fair for the work he's done. And this, gentlemen, is why you agree beforehand. See, here's the thing. I don't think that anybody, well, I shouldn't say I don't think that anybody, I mean, you can get a day laborer for a lot less than $300 a day. You can get a day laborer for what?
$100 a day I was
That's
paying.
right. Okay. When you get a day laborer, you get a human body that is going to work. When you hire somebody, or you go into business with somebody and you say, I want your expertise because I know you were in this business and I know that you know how to do this right. You are paying for more than a warm body that's able-bodied and can move and gets what you say.
Ma'am, I know.
Did I breathe and give you the impression I was done speaking? You are paying for the expertise at knowing what materials to buy, the expertise at, and you know that he used to be in the roofing business, which is why you hired him. So now I am left to decide, are the $700 that he's asking for his picking the material, ordering the material, being there, giving his expertise, and working for 3 days, the $700 additional dollars, because you acknowledge that you've been paid $200, is that $700 additional dollars some outrageous fee that under no circumstances I think is reasonable, right? That's what you're asking me to say. I have to look at that and say, don't be ridiculous, you're only entitled to another 35 cents. I am not going to do that. I think the $700 is reasonable, and I'm finding in favor of the plaintiff. Next time, gentlemen, you should get it in writing.
Plaintiff has won this judgment here in the People's Court, and the lesson that you should come out of this courtroom having learned is pretty clear, isn't it?
No, I didn't see that I did anything wrong.
Get it in writing beforehand. That's the lesson.
My friend does stuff for me, and I do stuff for him. We don't write contracts with each other.
So you'll just go ahead and make the same mistake again
No, not with the same person.
with the next guy.
No, there won't be a next
Do
guy.
you work for pizza? No. What do you work for?
For free. I was
All
his
right.
friend. I completed the roof.
Okay, right around the corner.
Have a nice-
You too. All right, so come on in here. You too. I mean, the judge bails you out here.
Well, yes, it was my judgment that was very wrong with that. It's not the first time that I did work for coworkers and agreed upon it that, you'll pay me. You're definitely going to save money. You're getting an expert type job done.
Well, next time you do work like this, you'll agree in advance what the cost is going to be, or you're going to get back here.
Well, yes, I guess we will do it more legally with a contract signed up. I never thought something like that would have to be done.
I don't want to
as
see you in here
business
ever
friends.
again. Harvey?
Okay, even if there isn't a binding agreement, what you should do is, when you make a deal like this, send a confirming email with all of the terms you did agree on and get the person to send an email back saying, I agree. That will lock it down the way you need it. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.